What? Why are you looking at me?
See, I gave you a nice birthday gift too. While you're all up in my bag.
But I didn't give you a good birthday gift.
Yes, you did.
All right, then. Don't play. What you do with it? You know what?
I can't do nothing with it. They won't let us in the store.
You can use it online.
Yeah, no. I like to go in because I be trying to get getting the low. What's
the
up, Natalie?
open
You
box.
supposed to be at the show today,
dog. You trying to get the open box?
That's what he always do.
Yeah, I get the open box on some stuff too.
Get some good open box. I got to connect up in Best Buy.
Ooh, and he's nice.
Yeah, he cool people like.
Yeah, he is. He really is.
I think it's time for me to get that 90-inch TV. I've been waiting for
the guy, the Connect he has at Best Buy. Oh my goodness, he's so nice.
Wait,
and he really did something great for us.
Pause.
What?
Mm-hmm. First of all, you have like an 80-inch TV that hasn't been opened. You actually have like 3 TVs that's sitting in the box open. So why are you wasting money? So you're those people that you talk about online, the people with their stimulus.
Get him the Kia.
So you're one of them. So instead of being a habitual line stepper, you're being a habitual hypocrite.
Yes, that too. My hypocrisy only goes so far.
Okay, Nakia, so I can tell you the story behind the 70-ish inch TV.
I remember that because you guys called me on the phone about it. Remember that?
Was happy too, boy. Well, look at this.
Yeah,
look at the deal I got on this one.
So what had happened was the 65-inch in the bedroom went out. And I wanted to replace it with a 70, but the better deal was on another 65. So then the 70 went on sale, and my son, who was working at a certain store within the electronics department,
Walmart.
Yeah, sent the text. He sent a text in the middle of the day to the deacon over here and sent him a picture of the TV. And he stopped what he was doing, stopped in traffic, did a U-turn, went to Walmart, and got the TV.
Yeah.
And then
I told him we do not need another TV.
And then he did not mount it on the wall.
Oh,
so
it's just sitting in the box.
It's
just sitting in the room.
So it's just sitting on the box, sitting in the box. Like,
hold on, I think we got Nat Cat coming in. Hello? Hold on. I think Nat Cat up in here. Nat Cat, are you in here? Huh? Not yet. Okay, we're going to wait for her. And of course, sitting over here on the wheels of steel is our man David. We are sitting around here waiting for him to. I thought I saw her on the thing there, but okay, there she go. Is that her? Our realtor, Ms. Nat Cat. Hold on, let me see if we got you. We got her. Huh? Hey Nat, what's up, girl? Hello?
Are we having technical difficulties?
Technical difficulties?
Are we having technical
Give me my gift.
How you going to come up here and tell?
Okay. Hey, y'all.
Hey, Nat. I got to deal with somebody
Happy
right quick. How you going to come and tell somebody give you?
That's my present. My present is to stop singing.
Oh, okay. How you been? You've been MIA a little bit lately, haven't you?
I've been in this house on quarantine. Y'all think it's a joke. I'm not trying to catch that corona, whatever.
So you haven't showed any homes since this has been going on?
Yes, and I've been acclimating my business to virtual. So it's been very interesting having the seller walk around their house and let me view their home on Skype or Zoom or whatever, or FaceTime or Google.
Your husband just
I say y'all realtors will make it happen. Y'all make it happen. Look, I need y'all to keep making it happen so I can keep getting paid.
We got to have today we got to have a viewer participant show because I got to know something. Today's show, the name of our show is going to be, okay, it's over, now what? Now what we going to do?
What you talking about? What's over? Ain't nobody being over with quarantine.
No, I'm not talking about that. No, we're gonna be.
Are you talking about Bernie being over? Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know that's what you were talking about.
Saying,
you should have told me
politics,
that, and I would have made it different. You should have told me that. I thought you were talking about, because they say this is.
That's why you don't need to miss meetings, young lady.
You didn't have a meeting.
Okay.
That was you and Terry meeting. I wasn't invited to that.
I thought you were talking about relationships being over during this time.
I thought you were talking about that too. You wasn't clear. I mean, you weren't clear.
What you up here?
So wait, y'all. Wait,
what
y'all.
you up here getting over?
Let me tell y'all how she's acting. First of all, she already know what he has. So when she gets the gift, she's acting like Brown on Meet the Browns.
Exactly.
Like, did somebody choose me?
Fronting and stuff all on the air.
Terry.
Nah, but for real, I was laughing at that.
Lionel Richie.
You don't have to sing that.
Hello? Is it me you're looking for? And I wonder where you are. I wonder what you do.
I didn't even know this existed.
Huh? Yeah, I know.
I didn't know
Because
it.
I know how to come up and find stuff.
Wait.
That's
So
why
is
you
she
don't-
trying to say that it's like?
No,
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, you trying to throw some
No,
shade on your
no,
birthday present?
no, I'm just saying that
So
I
there'll
didn't.
be some cutting going on in the show
I
today.
didn't know this existed. I
Okay.
did not. Dave, have you ever heard of this?
We sure are, Chantel. We are distancing.
All these
Why
this violence.
Why you going to ask Dave? What do you know?
He
I'm
knows
not-
everything.
I'm not trying.
He's a bad man.
I didn't say.
Shut your mouth.
He's a bad. Yeah, he is.
See what I'm saying?
He's awesome.
Actually, you know what, Nakia?
Every
It smells
week.
Good.
Let me see.
Wait a minute, hon, what you mean you know that's good?
It's actually.
Oh, this smells like a mix between Vera Wang and some light blue
There's
or
gonna be some
something.
consequence repercussions after we get off
What
here.
is it?
There's
What
gonna be
is it?
there gonna be some consequences
He
repercussions.
What? Why you looking
after
at me
this
like
show
that?
go off today?
Why you looking at me like
It's
that?
called
Hey.
Hello by Lionel Richie, and it
I like
smells
perfume.
wonderful. It's
I like-
delicious.
No. And you said, ooh, it smell good, like it wasn't going to smell good. So, you know what? They're going to be consequence repercussions,
No.
anime, after the show is over.
Really, what she's saying is because it said Lionel Richie, she thought it was going to be cheap, and she was
Oh,
shocked.
no, I
at-
think you thought it was going to be cheap. That's why you just threw it out there.
No, she did. She pointed to the box and was like, "I didn't even know this existed."
Y'all, if this feed go dead, that means because there was some cutting going on up in here. That's all I want y'all to know.
Now you
Y'all
can't
done
be
made me
cutting
have to put
folks
the
over there,
bonnet on
Mr.
today.
Billy Goat.
Oh, my goodness.
Shoot.
I'm just saying.
Who you gonna cut? What you gonna
I'm
do?
just saying.
What?
Latest?
He gonna
what
hoof
you
you to
gonna
death.
No,
do?
what I want to know what y'all gonna do. What we gonna do now that it seems that Bernie Sanders has dropped out. Look, I fooled with Bernie, but Bernie he didn't get it done, so it's gonna be Uncle Joe.
Okay, so
Well, we need Uncle Joe to take Bernie under his wing and be that VP. Maybe that might make all his constituents know
I
how
don't
they
know
I
got
don't
if
think
him-
America gonna do two old white men.
No.
I mean, I like don't get me wrong. I fooled Bernie.
At
But-
this point, I think America would do anything other than the white man that's up there now.
now I do agree with you.
I do
well,
agree with
some
that.
of us,
I vote
us
for
would
Mickey
do.
Mouse.
Okay,
Oh.
Ronald McDonald. If we're gonna have a clown, let's get a real one.
Also, wait a
I
minute.
know.
Hold on, you ain't gonna act like you surprised on that one though,
Oh, I
right?
knew this smelled good. I like this.
Huh? What you mean you knew it smell? What you are you trying to throw shade on my show? Is that what you're doing?
No.
She
We
ain't
don't
gonna
throw
make it next
shade.
week,
We
Okay,
bro.
get
just
back
wear
to
She ain't gonna
politics.
make
sunglasses, honey.
Get back to politics.
it. Okay, whatever.
So,
Spray that on your fur since you want to sit around here and just be all.
Hold on, what you
Yeah,
spraying? What you smell like? That's what I need to know. What's the name of it again?
This is a peony. Is that how you say it?
peony.
Peony and peppercorn.
Peony.
Peony and peppercorn
Listen.
by Banana Republic.
Don't try to correct her. She graduated.
And I love their fragrances because they're really light.
Wait, are you?
Yes.
Are you?
And
throwing
this
shade?
one, I love this one.
No matter how much he
Which one is
sprays on,
that
it's
one?
not going to be overpowering.
Exactly.
And which one is that one?
Y'all is a
The
whole
Hello by Lionel Richie. That's
lie.
the one you love.
I like both of them.
Oh my God! What's up there? What's going on, there? Boy? Look, we gonna have to get started. We gonna mess
Okay,
around.
so let's seriously.
Okay,
Back to
so,
Bernie.
Yeah, back to Bernie. So
I'm taking that one back because you tried
So
to make
now
fun
that
of
it's
my
over.
Lionel Richie. Anyway, okay, go ahead.
No, you're not taking
The cologne
So,
is over.
listen,
Back to Bernie.
I want you guys to know that Deacon DeJango's ADD is acting up. He can't get
He
it
forgot
together.
his medicine this
He
morning.
didn't take his medicine. His
I'm on all
Ritalin,
types of
his,
medicine.
His Lexapro. I don't know. He. Just
I need you
can't
to go
it
get some
together.
coffee. That helps with that ADD thing.
Well, I'm taking OJ today because I had to do a long walk last night. And I got to.
You don't need no kind of
Oh
sugar.
wait, you had to do what?
Hold
now?
on, why you move backing up for? You didn't bring no man. I'm
I got
in
some
my
things.
prime, young
I
lady.
got
You
some
just come on.
things to do. I can't be getting
Okay,
Corona
I'm just saying.
2020.
Nah, I don't know about none of that, but
I'm not on the. I wasn't trying to wake up and be on the list and didn't even know I was on the list for the upper room. I ain't ready for the upper room.
the upper
Okay.
room.
Can you
When
spit over?
Jesus
Yeah, we're gonna look back at 2020 and be like, that whole year was a throwaway year. Just
Right.
get the whole year.
Right,
Next year
right.
it's gonna be the real year. This
The
is
real year?
practice.
Okay.
Okay, but you know they say that 2020 was supposed to be the year of vision. So
Yeah, it's some
I
vision,
mean,
all right.
it's giving us
Tara.
insight into how things are and what is yet to come. So I guess it really has lived up to what the 2020.
I mean, yeah,
stands
we
for.
thought 2012 was the end of everything, right? You know,
Well,
the end
I'm
of
not
the
even
Mayan
talking about
calendar.
the end of everything.
We're
I'm
talking
talking
about
about
seeing
seeing
everything
things,
coming to
seeing
light.
things for what they really are.
I mean,
Mhm.
but it took us to get to 2020 to see things what they
Well,
really
No,
I mean,
it took some more
took
than
some of
Mother
them.
Nature saying, sit down somewhere.
Oh,
Right.
Pedro, what's up, baby? So, Bernie's out. Biden is the
Mhm.
man. Are we gonna vote for him?
What other choice do we
Hold on, I
have?
know who I need to ask. Super Dave.
You already know how
Are
Dave
you voting
feel.
for Biden? Here it comes. Get ready, y'all.
My vote for Biden is going to totally depend on who his vice presidential candidate is.
Oh.
So who do you want him to choose as a vice president, or who
It
do you
can't
think?
be. It can't be Kamala Harris.
Mm-mm.
I
Uh-oh.
don't like her either.
I would take
I'd
Stacey
say
Abrams.
Stacey Abrams.
It can't be Amy
Hey
Klobuchar.
there. No.
Nope.
It can't be Val Demings.
What's wrong with Val Demings? I
Val,
like
Val
Demings.
Demings was a chief of police, and the arrest of black people increased tremendously under her reign in Miami.
Black folks
Kamala-
were acting a fool down in Miami.
Kamala Harris
Same
was
thing, prosecutor.
basically throwing
the
black
same
folks
thing.
in jail.
And was proud of it.
And was proud of it.
Yeah.
Amy Klobuchar basically rode the coattails of a bad conviction to the Senate of a black man. No, if any three of them are chosen, or in fact, if any prosecuting attorney or police chief is chosen, he will not get my vote. The only person that I think is eligible, I actually had two until one was caught
one
in the
got
room.
caught up in the room.
But
And truly,
know, that
and
was
truly not to be
crazy.
sexist,
I was
I think
rooting
Andrew
for
Gillum
him.
would have made a stronger candidate because he could have pulled
Yeah.
Florida.
Well,
He
I
was
do
pretty
too.
lo-
That
he
was my
pretty much
argument.
loved in Florida, yeah.
But
And
Stacey Abrams has got to be the person.
I agree.
You know
Ron.
what? I agree with you
and
100% on
It
Stacey
certainly
Abrams.
cannot be two white men. I don't care. Now, I could argue for Elizabeth Warren as well.
That's your girl.
But
Yeah.
Stacey Abrams, in my opinion, if you want my vote, that's the person that you better get on that ticket.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Dave. As far as Stacey Abrams go, because I do like her, but people are so prejudiced against the way that people look,
Don't
the
care.
way they. So, do you think she would help him get in?
But
Why would she not help him
but
get in?
here's the point
Because
about,
white men are not going to vote.
Well,
for
here's
her.
the point
White
about
men love
Stacey,
black women that look
Stacey
like that.
Abrams.
They
Stacey
love her, but they ain't gonna
Abrams
vote for
looks
her.
like the typical
Well,
black woman.
Yes, she does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she looks like a mother.
Yes,
You know,
nurturing.
and to
Actually
me,
look like you a little bit in that cat when you got
you know,
the natural look.
and
yeah.
to me, that is
Yep.
that is a positive.
That's when I pull them
So-
off.
Right, right.
So anyone, to me, I don't see how you can go wrong with Stacey Abrams.
Well, I don't
You
think
know,
you can
so-
go wrong with her
Yes.
just because of her
Thank you,
record
John.
and
You're
who she
totally
is
correct.
and things like that. But
what
I'm
she
just
stands
yeah,
for.
what she stands for. But we don't have people that look at things like that. Unfortunately,
Well, see, here's the
especially when
thing:
it comes to a black woman,
white men are not going to vote for
Joe Biden.
Joe
anyway,
Biden
yeah.
anyway. And white men are staunchly in the corner of Donald Trump.
They are.
But what
Yep.
you have to
sad.
go for,
All about that
number one,
Benjamin.
you better make sure that black women are voting. Okay, Stacey Abrams is going to bring that. All right, you
Man.
better
Yeah,
make
Elizabeth
sure.
Warren's not.
You better
even
make
though I
sure.
I'm
love
gonna
her.
hit on that,
right.
Yolanda. I'm gonna hit on that.
You better make sure that black men are voting to seat Stacey Abrams because many black men.
I have a
look,
hard time with the black men because double the amount of black men voted for Donald Trump. But see, the outlier with black people is black men. When it
Well,
comes to Donald Trump.
black men are simply trying to be obstinate. But I'm saying with Stacey
They being
Abrams,
raccoons.
she looks like their mothers. Okay.
Yeah.
So you better make sure that that's in. Stacey
some-
Abrams will also bring in those young black voters.
Right.
as
Now that
well.
she will do.
She could
Okay.
probably
The
go
millennials.
across
Because that's
Florida
going to
and
be
get Florida,
important
too. Right.
for Donald Trump, for black millennials. I've got some statistics I'm going to talk about on Black Focus Radio about the number of black people who did not vote overall in the last election. It makes
Oh,
a
yes,
huge
them.
difference. So
The Bernie of bus people.
Stacey Abrams is the person
Those
for me.
are the people
So-
Yeah, I
that
think
split
Stacey
everything.
Abrams is his best bet. And if he's listening to the right people, he said, I'm going to pick a black woman. That's what he said. I'm going to pick a black woman.
And but then you saw the picture of Kamala.
I don't give a damn.
I just
Look, I have no
I
issue
do not.
with Kamala
I
I wouldn't
don't.
be
I
shocked
like
if
her,
all
but
gets
to me,
Michelle,
I have two
even though
issues
she
with
said
her.
she doesn't want to.
Listen,
I
baby,
think
if he
I
got
can't get past her
Michelle,
prosecutorial
Michelle is not
record.
going to.
she's not. But I'm
that's not
saying
gonna happen.
if you could get Michelle, hell, Michelle could be president.
Boy, Michelle.
While you tripping, Michelle could be president. But at the end of the day,
But why would she want to deal with that foolishness? See, Michelle is more radical than Barack is.
yes, she
Michelle,
is. Yes,
Michelle,
she is.
Michelle's campaign to be kill Whitey. So I mean,
Now I don't know if that would be her campaign, but I
Yeah.
do feel like she's very much more radical than Barack.
Yeah.
And her platform is plain and simple. You know, it's out there. She don't straddle the fence. She say what she mean and mean what she say,
Yes,
and I
until
love
they are.
that about her. So, but you know, a lot of times people are not ready for that type of black woman. They can't accept
But
that
see,
type of black woman.
And
Mhm,
here's
exactly.
the issue. Stop voting. See, this is the thing. Now we got this
I can't take you
COVID-19 going out
serious
here.
with your
And
bonnet
Republicans are doing their They're damn just to show that they don't know how to govern.
Listen, first of all, you had this clown in office talking about it's a Democratic hoax. When he knew for months and months, we have factual information that says he knew about this in November. So you knew about it all the way in November, and you were lying and saying that it was a Democratic hoax. Now that it's come out that it's real, people are dying. Now it's we have the supplies in place, but your son-in-law got on national TV and basically said that the respirators and things were for them, they're not for us. Then you go back to how he just has not kept the pandemic team in place. I mean, it's just been all over the place, and it's showing his ignorance, his idiocy. It's just
I can't
showing.
do Cory Booker, Pedro.
It's showing everything.
He's a good dude, but he's corporatist Hillary.
It's showing how this man is not qualified to lead, and everybody that leads isn't taught.
And here's the
Some
problem.
people just are natural
why
leaders.
In certain groups, and this is just a certain outlier polls. Why is his poll going up? And I'm gonna tell you why. The only thing in this country that beats political stupidity is political amnesia. We did the same thing with George W. We've been here before with this. When the president showed ineptitude and incompetence, and his polls go up because people rally around his incompetency, and that goes to show you just how bad people are in this country.
But he told y'all.
But think about
it.
He
told y'all when in
let
the early
me give
90s.
y'all some numbers, okay? Because one thing that I've been trying to tell black people is, I don't want to hear any more about disenfranchisement, because I remember a group of black people that no matter what they told you can't do, we did.
Right.
Okay. So when they tell you can't vote, or when they put obstacles in your way to vote, then you need to show them that I don't care what you're going to put in my way. I'm going to jump over, crab under, whatever I need to do to get out there and vote. Right. So Trump won Wisconsin by 23,000 votes.
Right.
In Milwaukee, 93,000 black people did not vote. Did you hear what I just said?
Even
Trump
if 30,000 of them voted.
Now, was that due to voter suppression or just black people being obstinate and refusing?
I don't know the reason why, but the fact is they didn't vote.
Was in Wisconsin. Now, okay,
let me finish. Okay. Trump won Florida by 113,000 votes. In Miami, 379,000 black people did not vote. Okay. In Michigan, he won Michigan by 11,000 votes. In Detroit alone, 277,000 black folks did not vote. Trump won Pennsylvania by 44,000 votes. In Philadelphia, 238,000 black people did not vote. In Atlanta, in Georgia, he won Georgia by 211,000 votes. In Atlanta, over 500,000 black people did not vote. Now, you want to change this country? Then you need to get your asses to the polls. That's the bottom line. I don't care what they're saying to you. I don't care what they're doing to you. Look, I'm sorry, but let me just say this.
He angry now.
Right here in Arkansas, this governor has refused to shut down this state.
Right.
I just had a dear friend to die from the coronavirus, okay? Now, had this governor shut down this state, my friend Richard Richardson would probably still be alive today. Now, let me tell you why he didn't shut down the state. He gave $15 million tax cut to the top 10% of Arkansas. Right now, they are in session trying to find out how they can cut $208 million from the budget that's going to affect you. So if he shuts down this state, he can't pay for that tax cut.
Yep.
Y'all get this right? So tell me why y'all not voting again. Oh, because they moved the polls? Well, I know people stood in line for hours. People were hung. People were shot. People were murdered. I don't want to hear this anymore.
Okay, so Dave, I have a comment. We have Melinda Dokes that said, and he shouldn't shut it down either. It is said that they are classifying all deaths as COVID, so the numbers are misleading. And then I also have a comment as far as the voter registration and things like that. It is some factual information out there that the numbers that they're saying didn't vote is not factual, simply because the voter registrations are not accurate. And I talked to you guys about that myself, because my dad's name was still on the voter registration, on the poll, on the registration for years, and my dad had been dead for years and years. So can we go by that statistical information? How do we what do we get out of that if it is not? How do we know that it's real? That's what I'm trying to get to. That's the bottom line.
Let me do this. 530,000 black people didn't vote. How many people do you think was probably inaccurate on those rolls in Atlanta? Was it 530,000?
No, of course you know it's not 530,000.
Okay, so let's say if it's 1,000.
Right. It's still enough to move.
You get my point?
Yeah, I get
See,
your point.
we can get caught up in these conspiracy theories
Well,
and
that's
all
not
that other stuff.
necessarily a
But at the
conspiracy
end of the
theory.
day, we know black people aren't voting. Period.
And
We
why?
know that.
Because it's the
Period.
new ignorant of
Right.
the woke Negro doctor.
Right.
Exactly.
You're right. The majority of people don't vote.
Right.
But it adversely affects black people more than
Now, that I agree
anybody
with.
else.
I agree
So
with that
the
100%.
reason the reason that all of these states in the South are ran by by governors of Republican Party is because y'all not voted.
Right.
Y'all are, I don't know how old you all are, but Arkansas used to be a Democratic state.
Yep,
It
sure
did.
did.
It did.
Until
You
the
see what I'm
black man
saying?
got elected, then all of a
Arkansas
sudden
used to be a
everything
Democratic
changed. Yep,
state.
it sure
Yeah.
did.
You see,
Yep.
and when you don't really pay attention to what's going on,
Pulaski County is still Democrat.
Well, it's still Democratic.
Pulaski
Okay, so-
County is still Democrat, of course.
Right, in sections of Southeast
Okay,
Arkansas.
so but let me ask you this:
What?
even if the black people got out and vote, we have so many black people right now that are shucking and jiving, bootlicking, and everything else. So is that really? That's the other question. Is that really gonna make a difference? Then you have
Okay, what other difference do we have?
so if you
Sit back and
vote,
complain,
okay,
that's
so
what we do.
What
so
else?
if
I'm
you
being
vote,
honest with
Mad on
you.
social
When you
Okay,
say
so
that,
if you
it's not
vote-
going to make a difference because
No,
I hear that
I'm
a lot. I'm not
asking
going to
you.
vote because
I
it's
didn't
not going to
say
make a
that.
difference.
That's
I'm not
not what I
saying you,
said.
but
Okay.
that's the mantra that
So
you
I'm
hear.
asking you, if they get out and vote and they vote for the wrong person, or I can't say the wrong person because whatever is right for you is right for you, but they're not voting in a way that's going to be beneficial to us.
You talking about the black raccoon?
Causing more harm than good.
Yes, is it causing more harm than good?
There are more black people who are on the right
Right
side
side, yeah.
than there are on the wrong
On the
side.
bootlicking Negro side.
So here's what I would
I
say
go
to
to war
you.
with them every
Number
day.
I
one,
know.
part of the reason that we don't vote or don't vote correctly is we have not ever been taught how to vote. Okay,
The other part
that's
of that
important.
is that a lot of our young people don't believe in the flawed system.
Well-
they don't believe in the electoral college. They don't believe that the
They don't believe
divisions
nothing
of-
changes.
They
But
don't
they
get
never
right.
even
Okay,
Yeah.
The
but
big
again-
one thing
Let's
is
just-
apathy.
But
right there.
that's part of what I'm saying is that you don't understand the vote. The vote has been taught to us as it was the be all to end all. It will solve all of our problems if we simply go out to vote.
No,
That's a lie.
that's-
That's
that
that's
don't
what's
work
been
like
taught
that.
to us. The vote is nothing more than a tool
Right.
to get to the mean.
Right.
So here's what we have to understand about voting is that, okay, we vote for one person and that person doesn't do what we expect
Guess
them to
what?
do.
Vote 'em
We
out.
shouldn't throw up our hands and say, hey, we're not going to vote anymore. We should say, okay, dude, you didn't do what we
Right.
expect you to
Right.
do.
Okay, so-
you out of here. Let me
Some
finish
of
my
them
point because this is
haven't
important.
voted at all.
I agree
period.
because that's part of the ignorance of not
Right.
understanding the vote. But once we begin to show these politicians that, hey, we're not going to accept your mess anymore, we're simply not going to do it, then this changes. Until we do that as a community, and this is not just black folks, this is across the voting spectrum.
Right.
Until we stop saying, oh, I'm voting for him because he's my friend.
Yep.
I'm voting for him because he look good. Or I'm voting for her because she got big breasts. Or whatever the stupid
She got
reason
big
that you
breasts?
vote for some of these people.
Stacey
Until we
Abrams
start
does.
being more responsible
$40.
about how we vote. It's just like your
Right.
dollar. Every time you spend your dollar at a store, that's a vote.
Right.
Until we start being more responsible on how we vote with our dollars, we're going to continue to be ran ragged over. And we have to educate our children because, look, I've got a young millennial. I got two of them. And they complain all the time about, oh, black people messed up. I mean, the civil rights leaders messed it up and this, that, and the other.
Well, then fix it.
They exactly.
Thank you.
They
Thank you.
laid the
Thank you.
I
groundwork
don't
for
think
you.
that they
For you.
believe that it can
Right.
be fixed.
Well,
And
that,
and
but that's
it's-
their ignorance.
With no
Well,
effort, it can't be fixed.
I
But
don't believe
complaining
that-
about it's not
no,
doing anything.
I don't believe that
That's
a lot
what
of
makes
them
me sick
believe
about
that-
some of us.
that it can be fixed. I am thankful for my kids. They don't act like that. Like I told y'all before, my son was president of the NAACP at UALR. He's an activist, like his mama. But a lot of the kids don't believe that these things can be fixed because they see how flawed the system is, and they say it would have to be totally destroyed
Okay.
and built
It
back
doesn't have
up
to be
from
destroyed. You have to inject
You have to-
yourself,
right,
which is
you
what
have
we're
to- you
saying.
have to
Why we need to
transform
teach them
it.
the
Hold on.
politics and when to vote, how to vote, and where to
And
vote
then
is
the-
important.
Nat,
Not just
you're
for the
making-
presidents, but the primaries
right.
and the other elections that sets who's making these regulations. If we put a flood of us, a flood of millennials, a flood of blacks, a flood of color
Are you a
into
millennial?
these houses, into these
old.
Congress, into these Senates, then guess what? That's how you make a
Now-
change.
and-
That's how you fix shit. You
Now,
can't
Natalie,
fix shit
I
if you
agree
don't
with you.
organize.
I agree with you as well, but a part of that goes back to what Dave was saying about the education, and I think
They
that
done
even
went whipped out his
I think that
Constitution.
even in
It's gonna be trouble now.
like even with the Democratic Party, like with this last election and things like that, a lot of stuff wasn't out there. They weren't educating people on the different candidates, and so here I was, we had the people that were here and that were running just for the judgeship. I used them as an example. I'm asking, how can you find out about these people? How can you get the information that you need to know on who these people are? How can you check their records on how they ruled on this and how you ruled on that? So I am agreeing with Dave. It does
There's
go
a
all the
thing
way
called
back.
Google search.
Yeah, but
And
Google
they don't
don't.
take
But
that
Google
checker.
don't tell
Black
you
folks can
everything
find
that you need
Pornhub.
to know.
They can find
Thank you.
IG, Instagram models.
They can find Air Force
They can
Ones,
find whatever
find
they can find.
Jordans
Right,
and
they can
shit.
find
They
deals
get
on
it-
Air
get
Force
it
Okay,
One.
so
online
let me
for that
ask you
crap.
this. So y'all are saying that. So if you wanted to know, say for example, with the judge that was running, if you wanted to know his record, where would you go on Google? Because this is something that I tried.
You go
When
to
you go-
Pulaski County clerks and you can go
Yeah.
on their records and you can see what they voted for, when they voted for. That,
Is
that
it-
information is
Natalie?
also on
The question,
Pulaski
do black
Natalie,
people even
with
care?
the
Hold
if they
on.
do
candidate.
that?
Pause. Natalie, you can go to Pulaski County and
Uh-huh.
you can look their name up. But when you look their name up, it's going to show you trillion and trillion,
Rhonda.
and of course I'm saying trillion and trillion
Uh-huh.
list of cases that they worked in. So what I'm saying is, as a party,
right, Kim.
that it should have been a system in place. That's something that they need to be working on, or we need to be working on, I should say, in place to get this information. When these people are giving these adverse rulings, or when they're doing this ignorant shit that we need to know about, that stuff needs to be somewhere where it can be found.
Regularly.
Yes,
That
that's
sounds
what I'm
like
getting
we
to.
need an app.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm getting to.
5 call apps tell you everything. Download the 5 call apps. That'll tell you, and that gets you directly in touch with your congressman. The 5
Now-
call apps.
Let me just say something. I'm holding in my hand right now Constitution of the United States. Okay,
Ooh, you
And-
sound like somebody I know.
and I carry this everywhere I go.
Yes, Miss Abrams. Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, I love her. Love her.
I carry this everywhere I go. And here's the reason why. And when I submitted my book list and I started giving out my book list, the first thing on my book list is not in order, but the first thing on my book list is read the Constitution of the United States. Okay? And the reason I say that is because how the hell are you going to live in a country and you don't understand the laws by which you are governed?
Right.
Think about that. When Ava DuVernay first came out with 13, it was amazing how many of these so-called woke black folks did not know about the 13th Amendment.
That's why I don't
Okay,
that's why I
you
can't
see what
do
I'm
it.
saying?
I can't do
So
it. I can't
before
do
you
it.
can criticize and
But they're
a
talking
country,
about 5G towers, though.
right, and before you can
Oh,
change
that is
a
getting on my
country,
nerves.
you have to understand how this country was built.
Right.
And you have to use the laws. Look, you're not going to tear down this system.
Right.
You're not going to, there's not going to be a revolution to change the system.
Right.
Okay. So what you have to do is understand how you work within,
And how to work around it.
how you work within the system. And the key to that is understanding this document
So,
right
Rob,
here.
you want to come get some of this
Okay.
as we're in here fighting today?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the truth.
I agree with you, Dave.
That's why I tell folks loopholes. Look and see what you can do. Learn to walk that line. It is okay, because guess what? Some of them, most of them, walk it, cross it, crumple it up, burn
we
it,
gonna put it on
spit on
black
it
folks
every
today.
How
day.
y'all gonna do that?
No, because let me tell you something.
53% of white women voted for Trump.
Yeah.
So y'all gonna put this on
But
black
that's
folks.
okay.
And
They
then
can,
they-
they
Y'all gonna
can
put this on
think
black
about
folks.
that. They can think
See,
about
that's
that
the argument
while
that
they're
I
at
have.
home.
Y'all gonna put this on black
They-
folks. Black
they-
folk did this.
No. And we tell them too, and I tell them to their face. I ask them, who you vote for? And they say,
Christy, I've been telling people that.
Hold on, folks. If you burn your bust and you're not going to vote because your candidate didn't win, look, if that's the hill you want to die on, go die on it. Because it's not just about the figurehead and the president. It's about Supreme Court justices. Right. Okay.
Those midterm elections.
The more conservative the court gets, the more wacky their rulings get. Hold on. It's about federal court judges who are appointed for life. Okay,
yep.
So
that's one of the most important parts.
And the Supreme Court.
When Ray going to jail for a dime bag of weed, he going to get 50 years till they start flying airplanes. You think about the president that appointed that federal judge who's one not qualified by the ABA.
So did Ray have some other charges that was working with that dime bag?
Yeah, he was messing with my.
It really don't matter because you know what, Jim Blue, Jim White, Jim Green, he done had 50 other damn charges, DUIs and everything else, and that judge overlooked it because of who he knows and everything else.
And you already know.
They're gonna give you time like it's lunch. So when they go and get these judges who are not even qualified to interpret the law by the ABA, and then they get these guys are 40 years old, they got 35 years on the bench before they even retire.
And then they don't have term limits. So you got these old guys,
right, Lonnie, and they're going to vote for him again. You are absolutely positively correct. You are absolutely positively correct.
And that's stuff that we have to change, but people don't understand how to change it. We have to vote us in order to make that law and bill to change it.
Okay, so wait, let me ask this, Rob, before you say this. So Dave pulled out the Constitution and he said we got to understand how this country is built. Okay, so we as black people, the country wasn't built for us. So
exactly.
So when it wasn't built for us, are they really trying to understand it or understand it? What is it going to do for them?
The job that you have in all likelihood was not created by a black person, right?
No, it wasn't.
I'm just being frank with you. All right. But in order to get that job, what did you do? You figured out how to get that job.
Yes, I did.
You got the criteria in order to get that job, right?
Right.
Am I right?
Right.
If you want to figure out how to work in this country, you better understand this document.
Well, of course, but I'm asking
document.
the questions that they're going to ask.
Okay. So I'm just saying, you better understand this document.
Let me let Rob get it.
And the question is what?
Maybe we should have a class or something, or take a couple sessions to just go over this and make people help people understand their constitutional rights and put it in layman's terms, because a lot of that stuff is a lot of jumbo old talk, we talk, and all this other
so you're saying that it's written in a way that the average person is not going to understand.
Exactly. We need somebody to
we need the international or the amplified version, like the Bible. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, we need the cliff notes, the black ebonic cliff notes. That's what we need.
I wish you could see how he just
So you're right. So okay. So look, yes.
So Rob,
55% of white women did vote for Trump because at the end of the day, white people vote their own interest. Their tribalism rules out their common sense and whatever.
But we don't. You made a great point. White people are gonna vote for white people.
I don't care how liberal they claim to be.
Right.
Their tribalism is always going to pan out.
But we don't.
No, we don't. We too busy being raccoons.
Lonnie, you are. That's what I said. So Lonnie says a lot of people don't realize that either a system is working just the way they wanted it, or it was not built for us when the Constitution, and it wasn't built for us when the Constitution was written.
So you break it.
Yeah, we didn't count as
you break it.
I'm just curious. When y'all play Monopoly, do y'all use sorry rules? What rules do y'all play by when y'all play Monopoly?
You have to play
Monopoly rules.
I'm the Monopoly player.
So you got to understand Monopoly.
I understand the rules.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, in America, I'm just gonna say,
we play checker
some
rules.
Of us, we don't play chess. We don't play chess. We play checkers.
Right, we play checkers.
Exactly.
Right now, here we are having this conversation about how do we move black folks forward. I guess as a collective.
Well, first eliminate the raccoons. That's what we got to do.
You can't eliminate the raccoons.
They're never going to be eliminated.
But the conversation, I think, is how do you educate the folks who didn't even vote, who were going around screaming Joe Biden? Because even Dave was screaming Joe Biden.
No, the one
was not.
He was Elizabeth.
You are off the show. Don't even show up. This is your last 20 minutes on the air. How dare you?
Now, the ones that were screaming Mike Bloomberg, those are the ones, not the ones Joe Biden. We know about that devil. Mike Bloomberg's the devil. Nobody wants to pay attention to his platform, what he's done in the past 10 to 20 years. versus now all we see is a bunch of money being injected. Oh, we're gonna vote for him because he gave us some money. He liked black folks.
But that's what do you
using
think
people.
black Trump supporters do? The only reason why, because he give them photo ops, he invite the raccoons to the White House, he give them
And
a
a
little
red
extra
hat.
compound in their bowl.
But I gotta ask the question. To y'all though. So I'm constantly hearing everybody saying he's trying to wipe Obama out. Well, if he's trying to wipe Obama out, why have black folks not come together and say, well, if he's trying to wipe Obama out, let's see what we can get from him? Because what did Obama do for black folks? So why didn't black folks rally around Trump and say, well, he's trying to wipe Obama out? He might do something for us just so we can get even with Obama.
I have no, look,
but there's no
problem
conversation
with us
about
getting
that
something
because
from him.
everybody wants to
But
talk
that
about how
doesn't mean
stupid
I'm
he
gonna vote for
is.
him either. I don't have
That's
no
not my
issue with
point.
that.
My point is the man is there. The man is at the seat of power. Why are people talking craziness when everybody keeps saying he's trying to wipe Obama off the map? Well, then I think black folks should rally around him and say, well, let's see what we can get. If he's really trying to wipe him off,
So in other
why don't we
words,
do
go
that?
go see him like
So you want us to
Kanye
be
and Steve
raccoons? Is
Harvey
that
and
what
all
you're
that kind of
saying?
stuff. I don't think that's what he's saying at all. He's saying work with the system that's in place to make it work for you.
Because
Exactly.
Martin Luther King.
Trump is so determined to wipe Obama out. Why not use reverse psychology and use that methodology of Trump's to our advantage? 'Cause
Exactly.
He could give us
But-
what we want,
right.
and not realize that we're using him for.
But
it. That's
black
what
folk
he's saying.
don't do that because we too busy listening to Rachel Maddow how horrible he is. We don't do that.
No, we too busy playing checkers.
And more importantly,
Leave Rachel Maddow alone.
more
I like
importantly,
her.
One
if you
move at
ever-
a time.
if you
not
ever
thinking
read
about the
anything-
end game.
yeah, if you ever read anything about Dr. King, he says specifically he doesn't have a political party
Right.
because the bad thing is just like right now, no Democrats are truly in power.
That's
so
right.
you just got to sit on the sidelines and maybe
Right.
complain because you don't have a seat. So how can you align yourself with a party that was never built for you? You shouldn't have a party.
You don't down the hill
So-
for any political party. You can down the hill for policy.
Well, y'all down on the hill for Democrats every year, regardless of who they
because
put up
Democrats give black people voices.
there.
certain days.
When? Name me
CBC,
one
hold on,
voice they gave
CBC.
They
you.
give
Hold
you
on.
opportunities for
Right.
voices.
Name the
You have more
opportunity.
opportunities than
Name
you
the
do with
opportunity.
Republicans,
Name
because
the
you can
opportunity.
actually go in the room with them.
Name-
Most Republicans just shut out of that garbage.
I don't want to be in a
So,
damn room if I ain't
was
eating. I'm
gonna
watching
say-
everybody else
Right.
eat.
If you
Well,
can't
how
sit
are
at
you
the
gonna figure out
table,
how
it's
they're
gonna be
If you
just
ain't
like
gonna
on
sit
Four
there, you can sit
Brothers.
outside.
You eat
Same
on the
thing,
floor.
same
Come on,
thing.
Eat on
Rob,
the
you
floor.
can sit
So
outside. What you gonna do out there? If you
So can you
the only
create
thing that
your
matters
own
is
table?
In politics,
You
is
create your
power,
own room
and you
and your
have
own
none
tables,
outside that room.
basically.
And then the Republicans, you outside that room. Now they'll put a couple of Sambos and shoe shiners like Tim Scott up in there. Say yes, boss, master, we sick. That beaver mouth. He ain't even running anymore. He's out this year. He's not gonna run again.
So Rob, I have a comment for
okay,
you.
go ahead. Yes, Rob, they coming for you now. Bro.
Yeah.
Bring what you got.
Lenny said if they want to use the analogy about what did President Obama do for the black people, my answer is the same thing every president has done for black people, not a goddamn thing. Now, as far as what he did do for the country, that is an entirely different subject.
I don't
Huh?
like that. I don't like. See, here's my point.
Huh? What do you do for the country?
Hold on, but wait a minute. Hold on.
Lenny, so what did he do for the
Obama
Maintaining the
took
status
country out
quo?
of this
Didn't you
hole.
feel good while he was president?
Man, does that feed me?
All presidents make you feel good.
He
What
was
else do they
playing
do?
Young Jeezy,
Ronald
my
Reagan was the
president is
most
black,
feel-good,
and my
do-nothing
Lambo is
president
blue.
on the planet.
At least you felt good for 8 years.
Yeah, you felt good for 8 years under Ronald Reagan.
But I mean,
Did
that
you-
means something
You
to some
had
people.
So
to
you
for
had
8
you
years.
had
It
you
was
had
like good sex.
representation.
Who had representation?
Wait a minute, it was like good sex. How was that like good sex? I'm confused.
Some people feel like
How is that like
No,
good
we ain't
sex?
gonna do that.
Y'all, I do not approve of this message.
I
That
do
was
not.
not like good
Because,
sex,
hold on.
Dave.
Because again, what did I talk about?
Now, Dave,
The
normally
only
I be
words-
riding with you.
He didn't make me feel good. I'm
Oh,
just
'cause
saying.
I was saying that was not
No,
like
he
good
didn't.
sex.
I'm just saying many of them. It's like good sex.
Shit, the
Obama
devil
made me
is a
feel
lie.
good. Woo, boy, that was something else.
You
Well,
mu- that those
if you
those
didn't-
All
are
they
the
got
people,
out of it.
Hey Dave,
Good
those
sex.
are the people that
Hold
have
on,
never
I bet
had
you,
an
hold on.
orgasm.
I bet you them white folks say Trump make them feel good. If you inspired by Donald Trump or any of the Trump family, then you were probably inspired by your high school janitor. Okay, so my thing about it is, no, because that's
I
what
don't
he
even
does.
remember
He
my
make
high
white
school
people feel inferior.
Did we
I
have
mean,
janitors in
superior.
high
That's
school?
why they love him. Listen. He does what he say he gonna do, and he's the ultimate disaster. If you think that's funny, go look at where the unemployment rate is right now. While we hustling backwards, because unemployment now is double digits again. Oh, welcome back to 2009.
Okay,
I thought
but-
we were supposed to be going forward with.
Okay,
vision.
so his argument is going to be that the
Right.
COVID-19 caused all the things to close, and therefore that's why the why the unemployment rate is so high. So that
It's
was
not
beyond his
Donald Trump's
control.
fault either, is it?
I'm just saying.
It's
I'm
the
just telling you what he's
Democrats'
gonna
fault.
say.
You know, it's Obama's fault. That's what it was. Remember when we had swine flu? Remember that? That was Obama's fault. It ain't Trump. You know, he don't take accountability for nothing. And this is what we got. This is the mediocrity that this
Deacon
country has
mad,
become
y'all.
now.
He
This is what we
upset.
become.
It's everybody else's fault but
Hey,
our own.
how many
Yeah.
people died under Obama with the swine flu?
Ain't no telling.
No telling.
How many? Can you give?
We
Do
don't
you have
know.
a number?
But people
Let me ask you
died.
something. Did we shut down the economy
No,
under
we sure
Obama
did
when the
not.
swine? What about was he present with Ebola?
Yep,
we
He
shut-
was. We only had one person in the United States. with
Did we
Ebola. I do
shut down
remember
the
that.
economy for Ebola?
No.
No,
Ebola?
that's because
No,
we
we
had a
did not.
pandemic response
Okay,
team, though. That's
I'm just
why.
asking. So if
God.
if y'all buy that argument from Donald Trump, then y'all get what y'all deserve, man.
gonna keep getting what they
and
deserve.
look, I'm gonna say anybody, whether you white or black, if you buy the argument from this con
How
man,
many people died before the pandemic? How many
You
black
know.
people were murdered in America before the
But-
pandemic?
Countless.
I'll wait. I'll wait.
Exactly.
But-
I'll wait. No,
But
no,
here's
no,
my
no,
point.
No, Dave.
We're
No, Dave.
we're talking about Trump. If you buy the argument that Trump is making, then you deserve to get
But
whatever
America
you
loves
get.
You
America
are-
has
you
shown
are
it loves
drinking-
to get bent over.
You
and
are-
then you know what you do? Hold on.
Did he say bent
and
over?
my black people love it too. Then when the black man come bail us out, then we gonna malign the black man to the day he die. He didn't do nothing. That's what we do.
Well, what did he do? I
Okay,
mean,
hold on.
okay, give me.
Hold on, wait a minute.
I mean,
Let's go here.
I believe I don't want to.
But let's be honest, brokers. Hold on, let's be honest, brokers. Unemployment got cut in half under Obama. Okay, let's just. Where you going, Natalie? Where you go? Okay,
Tara Staywood said
unemployment and where and
got
what?
cut in
people
half under Obama.
benefited from Obama in ways they don't know.
Right.
So
They
that's
did.
what Tara said.
Okay,
Because
well,
the difference
like
was
how?
Obama doesn't feel the
Don't
need-
give me conjecture. Give me something.
Okay, so
Tell
hold
you
on.
what the lady said.
Hold on. Obama did criminal justice reform.
When? What
you mean?
criminal
He did
justice
2009
reform?
The
when
crack
he went and changed federal
the crack
sentencing guidelines.
reformation laws. He
Thank
did.
you.
He did let some people out.
He appointed
during
more
That ain't
federal
reform.
black-
He just let people. He just turned people loose.
Hold on.
He-
Donald Trump let people out.
Hold on.
Donald Trump trying to
Obama,
let-
hold on. Obama appointed more black federal judges than any other president in history. Hold on. Because he got the funds released for the black farmers that had been tied up in Congress for decades. He did a lot of stuff until they took away his mandate by letting Republicans block everything he did. He did as much as he could do in the first 2 years he did. Then he
Hold
put
on,
all his
bro.
political-
Hold on, bro.
What?
Just 1 second.
What?
Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Under Obama, didn't Obama legalize same-sex marriage?
And what they got to do?
No. Answer the question. Did he do it? Yes or no?
Okay, and what do you mean legalize it? He can't. You can't.
The federal government now recognizes a marriage between a
But
man and a man and a woman and a woman.
He has no power. The
Who
Supreme
has no
Court can-
power?
Only Supreme Court can rule on that.
Hold on now, brother. You
How did he
read.
legalize
Come on, don't
same-sex
do
marriage?
that.
How did he legalize same-sex marriage?
Obama didn't do that.
How did he legalize it? I want to know how you do that.
So you telling me that
President-
I was
what
Obama?
president
Hold
you know makes law?
on, brother. So you
I'm
telling me Obama did not do an executive order to recognize same-sex marriage?
It's like ping pong, y'all. You
Yeah,
look back and
that's
forth.
not a law, bro. That's an executive order. Executive orders don't mean anything. Another president can come and reverse an executive order.
Did Trump do it?
No.
Oh, so
Okay, so my
maybe
question-
it's not. So maybe it's not as easy as you say it is, right? But secondly,
Maybe he
let's
just
move
don't
forward
care.
though.
Maybe he
let's
just don't
move
care.
forward though. Now you keep talking about what Obama did for black folk, but we know I can tell you the one thing he did do for for the LGBT community.
And what that got to do with anything?
My point is, you told me that Obama's done some things.
So,
But
hold
you
on.
have yet to
So if
produce
other
one
people
thing he's
benefit
done.
because he handing out power. We mad because he giving somebody else. Okay, let me ask you a question.
You haven't answered my
Wait a
question
minute,
yet.
hold on, wait a minute. I'm gonna get. Well, let's go by this logic then, Rob. If Bernie Sanders was able to get universal health care, you gonna be mad because some white people and some gays and Latinos gonna take advantage of it too because black people, because ultimately universal health care and free education benefits black people more than anybody else. But I'm mad now because the gays got it too.
Wait,
and
but how does
Latinos got it too,
back
and-
up? How does universal health care benefit black people
Because
more
black
than
people are the ones who are in the economic strife. We don't have money to afford.
It's a lot
insurance.
it's a lot of races that don't have money to afford
But
insurance.
my
That's
point
just
is-
that
but
didn't
my
just
point
benefit
is,
us. That benefited
only
everybody.
works in a homogeneous society. We're not a homogeneous society. So everybody has an agenda that they want answered. So when people get mad because the president does a universal law or an executive order and other people decide to take advantage of it, now we mad because other people got it too. Look, my thing about it is, yes, Obama could have sat around here and said, look here, black folks, I'm going to go and get y'all executive order for reparations. You think Congress would have passed that? You
Did
think
he
Mitch
try?
McConnell
Let me ask you a question, because I understand what your logic is, but here's the bottom
He
line.
knew that was a stickler. And here's the point.
Who put Obama in office?
Everybody.
Mainly the black
Well,
vote.
mainly 95% of black people did in
Okay,
the first election.
so
88 of
in
the next.
every election that you've ever seen or heard about, that person who gets elected recognizes his or her constituents with some type of law, legislation,
Hold on. Did
or
Obama
something.
get HBCU funding?
I'm
just asking questions, 'cause y'all say he did nothing
HBCUs didn't put him in office.
But that's
I'm
black
talking.
folks, though, right?
I'm talking about. No, it's not black folks, because all black folks didn't go to HBCU.
Oh, so now
I
we
have
because somebody else
I
didn't
have a
do
son who
society.
went to Middle Tennessee State, and my daughter graduated from Tennessee
we
State.
agree that the thing of
Let me finish my
HBCU
point.
is historically black.
Right. Let me
Okay,
finish
I'm
my
just
point.
saying.
His constituents is not. That's almost saying like HBCUs are people. It's not. That's what the Republicans are arguing. Corporations are people. I'm simply saying, in the history of elections in this country, that person that is elected always does something specifically for those people who are responsible for putting him in office. There is not one piece of legislation that Obama put forward that was specifically tied for black people.
Okay, so Dave,
That's
it's
my
a
point.
comment on DeSandre's post that says basically, black people are in the LGBT
Right, and black folks in the LGBT,
community.
but again, we
community
mad.
What
as well.
percentage of black people are there?
Oh, hell, I
Did,
don't know.
did
I'm
the
just
L,
saying
did,
what
did,
I'm
the,
saying.
did the LGBT community
So-
put Obama in office?
Yes, they
Yeah,
did.
some of them did.
But wait a second.
But
Wait a
that's my
second.
point. Y'all acting like only black people
So
voted for
DeSandre,
Obama.
I'm just
They didn't.
so right now I'm just telling.
Well,
you
he took
guys.
care of the white folks that put him
I
in
think
office.
He took care of everybody.
I think
Okay.
The
it's,
difference was he
Tara
didn't do like Trump
said
and go,
that basically she had a list of things
That was
she
my
said
point.
that benefited us while Obama was in office. She says credit, criminal justice, education, expansion, and poor
But he got to go and get on
communities.
mic. And
Criminal
tell us.
justice. Who was Obama's vice president?
So wait, so
What that
then
got to
she
do with
said,
it?
Who was Obama's vice
Oh, but you
president?
voted for him though.
Okay.
Didn't you though? But
So
you
wait.
voted for him.
I voted down
Well, one
ballot.
second.
No, I
One-
didn't.
one second.
I'm telling you what she's. Let me tell
Go
you
ahead.
what she said. She also said, "Hell, if you pay taxes, you can marry who the hell you want."
True.
To. So what? So.
Y'all are missing the broader point.
It's not the broader point.
So what
Dave.
they're
No.
asking on DeSandre's live is, what does it matter? So
Okay,
the
let
question
me
is,
explain
so
why
do
it
you
matters.
guys wanted something that specifically said,
Well-
this is for black
Black
people.
people.
well,
Right.
that,
All-
no, no,
all the
hold
other
on,
elected
hold on,
officials
hold
do
on.
that.
Hold on, hold on one second.
All the
Hold
other
on
elected
one second.
officials have
It
done
doesn't
that.
say
But
where,
the
what
first step ain't
does
okay.
it say
Black
this
folks
is
do.
for
Let me-
white people.
Well, hell, you know it's for white. What has Donald Trump done
man.
since he been in office?
He ain't done nothing for black people.
Exactly.
Hold on, but
How do
wait
you
a minute,
know
wait a
that?
minute, Dave.
How do you know
But you
that?
got raccoons up on social media talking about,
what they
oh, he
said.
did First Step Act. First Step Act don't specifically apply to black people. That's for any felons. And then they got a covert in it that you can get violated back to the federal system or get Boy, look, let me tell y'all something.
You getting emotional?
Yeah, I'm getting hostile. I'm about to go and cut some raccoons
Emotions
down.
make you cry sometimes.
Yeah, they do. Emotions make you okay. But my point is that listen, the only difference is Obama didn't feel the need to get on the mic and say, "Hey, black folks, this is for you. I'm just letting you know, wink, wink. This is for my people."
I think
Trump
he was
goes up
scared
and
to
does
do
the First
that.
Step Act that does not give specifically to black folks. He wants to go up and announce it. Put every white senator plus Tim the Coon Scott.
So
up
you
there
saying
and
that
say, "Look
he's
what I did for
playing
you
into
black
black.
folks.
So
Hey,
you saying
Negroes,
he's
aren't you
playing.
happy? This
So
First
in
Step
other
Act."
words, he's playing into
And
black
then he
people's
goes and lets
emotions and
every black
feelings.
person he can get out of jail and brings them to his State of the Union verse. Say, look at this, black people. Look what I did for you. Look what I did. First Step Act. Ain't no white people gonna take advantage. Just the white.
I
just the
gave you
black
these
folks.
pig innards, so go on eat them. These good chitlins and the pig
Yeah,
feet and the pig ears and the pig.
Just give us some fried chicken and watermelon. Just shut up.
I think the larger point to my argument is if you even understand or even have any comprehension of what a protected class means, you understand why all this is threatening LGBTQ and anything else. And I don't even want to have a conversation about all that crazy LGBTQ, whatever it is. The reason black folks were a protected class is because we were brought to this country. We were not allowed to gain wealth. We were slaves. We were not allowed education. For all the atrocities that was done to us, that's why America became a protected class. I mean, black folks became a protected class, right?
We don't feel like it.
So,
doesn't feel like we're
unfortunately,
protected class.
hold on. Unfortunately,
I'm going legal on you. but go ahead.
unfortunately, the protected class no longer exists because now everybody's in a protected class. Gays, dogs, horses, pigs, you name it, they're in it. So the protected class now means
wait a minute.
nothing.
Hold on, but let me ask you a question, Rob. Do you know the legal definition of what a protected class is?
Okay, so tell me your definition.
A protected class is a minority subsect, and usually in the class action suit is usually a subsection of 10 more or more that don't have the legal or the social economic power to affect any type of change. So they put them. Women are considered a protected class, whether they be white women, black women, Oriental women. Women are considered a protected class. That's why you had to have voting right for women because they were not allowed to vote. So they again became their own protected class. Black people, of course, we became our own protected class. Okay, and then now because of the LGBT agenda, they have become a protected class, and it's not because they saying, well, hold on, that we figured that we can equate our struggle to black folks. Is that no, we're being discriminated against. So yes, we don't have the economic or the legal power because we come out and tell people, well, I love a man or I love a woman. Well, they get fired from their job. They don't get jobs. So no, according to the Constitution that Dave sits over there, all Americans have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So that's why you have the need for protected classes. So you can't get mad. And look, I don't try to judge anybody's argument for why they get mad about I don't know why every time we talk about Obama, the first thing we have to talk about the LGBT community or the Hispanic community because it's always this argument that he did stuff for them, he didn't do nothing for us. Really, I want to know whenever Obama went to the Hispanic community and said, hey, Latino, this for you. I'm gonna get y'all burritos every day of the week, and we good. So my thing about it is, bro, you're right. Everything is a protected class. You got a lot of protected classes. So the question is, in a non-homogeneous society, how do you fix that, Rob? That's my question to you.
So, Rob, and there are also other comments. Tara says, hold on.
You need to pull it up.
Yeah, hold on. I can't see that far.
This is
okay.
to you, Rob.
First, Karen says some folks are mad because he did not have some black-specific legislation.
Right.
Tara says there was not any legislation that specifically stated it was for white people. She also said that you're acting like Cornel West and Tavis Smiley. She asked that we get you out of here. And she says, right, if you're black, President Obama is not boastful but subtle, as oftentimes the most successful leaders tend to be. He did not have to shout, look at me, look at me. Lala Harper says that you sound homophobic, like you've been on what Obama did for the gays. Chill out. And they said, we are still the people. At this point, we damn the people. That's what they said.
Okay, so let Rob go ahead and defend
Go
it.
ahead.
You got about 2 minutes.
Okay, go ahead, Rob. I'm going to give you these last two.
And by the way, y'all can listen to more of Robert on Black.
No,
Focus
yeah, because
coming
y'all
up
going to
in
be,
a moment.
but like, you don't need no 2 minutes. You got your whole show coming up here. We're going to talk about us for the next hour.
Y'all should have called in today.
But the question we can't have, and I will say this, we can always have a question about whether Obama did enough for black people. Because I think that his response to what was going on with the unarmed police shooting was limp-wristed. Now, we can always have that. We can always have that argument. Okay, but we're not gonna sit there and I'm not gonna let people get away with he didn't do nothing. He did a lot. He just didn't feel.
What did he do?
About it.
What did he do? You keep
What
saying
did he
a
do
lot. What did he do?
specifically for black people?
Here we go. What we do?
Black unemployment, same. Black crime, same. Are the crime in our community the same? Our communities look the same.
Black unemployment
What's
right
the
now is
difference?
right back to Bush numbers. Thank
Hey,
you.
come on, man! Don't do that. Don't do that. See,
What
this
did he
is the
do
thing.
specifically
why-
for black people?
Unemployment claims, bro.
What did he do
And who you
specifically
think is
for black
majority of the
people?
people that filed the unemployment claim? Black folk.
What did he do specifically for black
What
people?
did
That's the question.
He get
Specifically for black people. If he couldn't have done anything else, he could have opened up a study group or something for reparations.
I do agree with
He
that.
could have done that. Why didn't he do that?
Hold on, but that's my point. That's my point. We're not arguing that he didn't do anything. We're arguing that could he have done more. Of course he could have done
But
more.
again,
Hold
that's
on.
a
They're arguing that he didn't do
no.
anything.
That's a
But I'm
specific.
not gonna go with that.
Overall, he did some things, but specifically for the constituency that put him in office, did he do anything
I already told you what he did. Y'all don't want to talk
specifically for black people?
about black farmers. She didn't do nothing for him.
How did that affect?
go.
How did that affect the overall black people in America?
So
How
you-
how
so-
did that affect the 14-15% of black people overall?
So HBCU, that don't mean nothing.
How did that affect the
But that's
overall
but
black
that's
people?
specifically for black people. Okay, never mind. We'll
Well,
disagree
actually,
to disagree.
HBCUs aren't necessarily specifically for
Him
black
and Rob
people.
gonna go. They're gonna have a,
Because
they're gonna have a field day.
my
on
friend
this.
is from Ecuador and she graduated from UAPB.
Right. In fact, there are a whole lot of
Yeah.
white folks that go
she
to
went
HBCUs.
She went to
Oh, we
UAPB
go.
on
Okay.
a tennis
Look,
scholarship.
well, there are a whole lot of white folks that go to HBCUs. Believe it or not.
She's working on her
So-
second master's
So
degree.
the unseasoned chicken wants to experience the black.
But
the
wait,
black thing.
hold
Okay.
on, hold
No,
on.
they do it because
She's-
they can go to
because
school
she gets
free.
money. She got to come into the
Yeah.
United States. She ended up getting married while she was over here.
Yep.
She's working on like degree number 3,
No.
and
How
she
nice.
graduated from UAPB.
How nice. Tell her to make us some tacos.
She is from
Pollo de-
Ecuador. Stop saying that.
What?
Don't
Okay.
do her like that.
We're gonna be all right. Thank you guys. This is one show. Stay tuned for Black Focus where they sit up and talk about the devil's advocate for the next hour.
Thank you guys for tuning in. I think next week we're going to try to be a little bit more on task, on topic, because
Yeah.
we've been showing out for 3 weeks, so we're going to get it together
We
next
gonna
week.
get, no, we ain't. We ain't gonna get nothing together. We're gonna
You know
be the
what?
same bunch of clowns we've been for the
Stop,
last 5
stop.
years.
Thank
I
you
wanna
guys.
Thank you. Happy birthday to Subversive. Dave, you and Rob up next. Be mad at us, so we'll just go ahead and let them be mad at us for the week. And we'll see you guys again next Friday. Same bad time, same bad channel. Don't forget, if you can't stand the heat, stay out of Hell's Kitchen, folks. Bye.